What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and I'm gonna talk about how hard the spiritual path is, how hard the path of Jesus Christ is, and it's not a bunch of easy stuff. It's not a bunch of silly easy stuff. Society tries to make the spiritual path seem easy. The Matrix tries to make the spiritual path seem easy. The church tries to make the spiritual path seem easy, but it's very, very, very tough. And the reason I'm talking about this is because of my last video I made where I talked about the Truth Tiger origin story, and I essentially talked about how I started out life as an Orthodox Jew, and then got involved in the New Age, then got involved in the church, and now I'm involved in the being a chosen one, being enlightened, and being a true believer of Jesus Christ, and true Holy Spirit filled person. And man, when I made that video, the weirdest thing happened. All likes, positive comments, stuff like that, but I lost a lot of subscribers on that video. I lost at least about 10, I want to count, because I'm a newer channel. I still have around, probably 680 something subscribers right now, but it's like, man, I see it's like it ticks up a bit, then it ticks down, it ticks up, then it ticks down, and it's like gain some, lose some, gain some, lose some, and I'm like, man, like, I've never had that happen before, and I've made videos talking on more controversial topics. I've dropped controversial red pills. I've said controversial things, and you lose one or two people, and then, it's not really even a thing. But this is like, I'll look and it'll be like, oh, lost another subscriber, gained a subscriber, lost a subscriber, gained 2 subscribers, lost another 2 subscribers. I'm like, dang, like, what's up with this video, And at first I thought because I talked about, leaving Judaism and stuff like that, like, that was the reason why. But then I realized, I'm like, it'd only be like 2 or 3 people. It wouldn't be all these people unsubscribing and stuff, And I realized, and it's, whatever, criticizing the Jews is a little bit taboo, especially with the war going on right now, or I don't know what, whatever. But at first I thought it was that, but then I realized, like, it wouldn't be this amount of people. It wouldn't be like this. It wouldn't be the numbers like this, And then I realized, like, I'm talking about the true path of Jesus Christ, and I'm talking about how hard the spiritual path is, and just how difficult it is to search for truth. And I'm talking about how everybody essentially will stab you in the back and betray you and leave you aside, and how there's not many true spiritual followers of Jesus Christ. There's a lot of people in the church ostensibly going, ooh, ah, Jesus, but when it comes time to actually not be lukewarm and to be real about it, and it comes time to tell them, hey, the path is hard, they're not interested. They want easy things, Same with the New Age. The New Age is probably the biggest when it comes to you wanting it easy, just gonna sit back and positive vibes, bro, and we're gonna have our crystals and our thing, and it's gonna be positive. And then the New Age stuff somehow becomes about money manifestation, and we're gonna get rich and get all this money. The church does the same thing, and it becomes a very carnal, worldly kind of thing pretty quickly. But yeah, and I remember making this, and I'm like, man, like, I've talked about more controversial stuff. Like, why is this? This was the last video I thought I'd lose people on. I've made other videos, and I'm kind of like gritting my teeth a little bit, like, crap, I hope some people don't get mad and unsubscribe and stuff. And generally on those videos, nobody unsubscribes, or it's like 1 or 2 people, and I'm like, shucks, all right, whatever. But this is like 10, 15 people have unsubscribed, and I realize, like, when I talk about it, it's like I haven't had an easy life. I've had a hard life, and seeking truth has made my life even harder. And the true spiritual path is very, very tough. Like, there are liars and deceivers in every corner. Everywhere you go, there's people trying to manipulate and take advantage. There are narcissists everywhere, and all over our society. Our society is a narcissistic society. we live in a narcissistic matrix. But you know, and yeah, it's just there's all these manipulative, weird people. And really, like, a narcissist is like a little mini-me Satan. You know, they emulate Satan, they emulate the devil. And especially when you start to go into church, I feel like there's more narcissists in church than outside of church. And the New Age, man, holy God, that's a narcissist. Oh my God, you know. And then, of course, the Orthodox Judaism I grew up in, very narcissistic and, like, you know, conformist and rule following and stuff like that. But, like, I think when people heard that video, I don't know what they wanted to hear, or, you know, I don't know what they wanted me to tell them, that it's going to be easy. It's not. It's going to be extremely hard. Like, your own family not understanding you, and you getting to a point where your family either abandons you, or your family just gets so weird that you have to abandon them. Like, you know, it's just, this stuff is hard, man. This stuff is so hard. And I don't think people get it. And like Jesus said, like, father will be against son, daughter will be against mother, brother will be against brother, sister against sister. A man's enemies will be his own household. You know, he even said that. And he even talked about, like, wide is the path to hell. The path to hell is wide and easy, but the path to heaven is, like, narrow and difficult, you know. And Jesus talked about this a lot, how it's a tough road, you know. He didn't say it would be easy. Jesus never said it would be easy, ever, you know. Not once, you know. And I think, you know, a lot of people want it easy. They don't want it to be difficult. They don't want to hear about difficulties. Maybe they want to see me as some type of a hero who's never had to struggle, who's not vulnerable. I don't know, you know, but, and it's like, the thing is, if people were mad at that video I made, there would be dislikes, there would be angry comments, there'd be all kind of crazy stuff going on, but just a bunch of people just quietly, sneakily unsubscribed, you know? Just quietly left, and it was the weirdest thing. And I was so puzzled, because I was like, man, if this was a controversial video that made everybody angry, people would be disliking it, people would be leaving angry, crazy comments, there'd be fights in the comments section, it'd be a whole big thing, you know. But no, just a bunch of people just walk away. And it's like, I put my heart and soul into that video more than any other video, you know. Like, a lot of the narcissist videos I do, which, you know, make me the most popular, like, I like doing them, and it's important to expose narcissism, but that's not like that. It's not always what's getting me going passionately. It's more just like, I'm more just kind of doing the work with those videos. You know, I know they work for me. I know they're making me successful, so I'm gonna keep it going, but it's not always what's in my heart to do, you know? Whereas this video was just so deep in my heart and soul, and like, I just felt the Spirit of God on me so much, you know? I just felt the Spirit of God just touch me, you know, when I did that video. I just felt so at peace, you know, and I could just pick up on these thoughts God was putting in my mind, and I was just so strongly in tune with the Holy Spirit of God after making that video, you know. And then all these people leave. That it's like they don't want anything to do with God. They don't want anything to do with the Holy Spirit, you know. And that's the bottom line. Is a lot of people, they want to do the claptrap, they want to talk, they want to go ooh-ah, but when it comes time to actually being about God, they don't want to be about God at all. They don't care, you know. They like the idea of it, they like the trappings of it, but in terms of actually doing the work and being about it, they don't want to be about God at all, you know. They don't want to be followers of Christ. They want to just do something easy, you know. They want to sit back, you know. And I think that video really, like, got some people, like, being like, okay, like, what am I doing spiritually? You know, what's my spiritual journey? And I think instead of confronting that, and instead of actually, you know, doing some soul searching, they decided to blame me or attack me in secret, you know. And I don't know, you know. You always might lose somebody here and there. You never know why, but like, I post that video, all of a sudden, all these people unsubscribe. You know, there's no coincidences, you know. And again, no angry comments. No, that video has 100% likes. I can look in my analytics, and as a creator, I can see who likes and dislikes it. Nobody even disliked it. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna leave quietly. I can't support this, but, you know, cowards. You know, basically cowards. If you got a problem with my channel, leave an angry comment. I'd rather that. Dislike my video. I'd rather that than freaking people just like quietly sneaking away because they realize this is not like, you know, something that's satisfying their own ego or something, you know, like, oh, you're gonna actually have to do something. That's what the church says. You're saved by grace alone. You don't have to do, and you don't have to do anything. You just sit back, listen to the sermon, and Jesus will do it. You know, Jesus is your sugar daddy. You just sit back and you don't even do anything. And it's like, that's not what Jesus said at all. That's not what he said at all. He said, let your light shine. You know, he said, if you put your lampstand under your bed, what light is it giving? He said, you put your lampstand out there for everyone to see. You know, you do the work, even if it's hard. And again, I don't exactly know why, but like, I really prayed on this, and the Spirit of God showed me, like, you know, Jesus said to me, you talked about me in that video. You talked about the real me, not the fake me people bring up in church. And, you know, people learned who I really was and they weren't interested, you know, and that's a shame. That's a damn shame, you know, because like Jesus will save you from hell, you know, and those people who did that, like, again, I'm not going to curse those people or whatever. Like, you know, that's not a big deal. It's just a YouTube subscription. It's not some big personal deep thing, but like, I was disappointed, you know, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, and I've done other videos where I've did red pill, talked about how men need to be men, whatever, talked about conspiracy theories, whatever, no dislikes, or not no dislikes, nobody unsubscribed, something like that, because whatever, you know, that's not like, you know, there's no conviction in that. But when I do that video about myself, people got convicted, and they were like, I don't want to be convicted. I don't want to feel like I have to do work or make changes or anything. No, you know, and they just, you know, they're just like, oh, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to, you know, tell you why I'm leaving or, you know, be mad about something, which if they had a genuine reason, you know, and they weren't just being weird cowards, I would see some dislikes on that video, and I would see angry comments and stuff. And, you know, because I've had videos like that got filled with dislikes and angry comments, and I've had some videos where it's just like, you know, insane comment section, angry people, insane trolls, insane haters, insane whatever. This, none of that. But just all these people quietly sneak out of the back of the room, essentially, you know, and it's just, it's frustrating, and it's disheartening too. And like, I'm just sad. Like, I've got a little invisible tear going down my cheek from this, you know, and I'm angry too, you know, sad and angry essentially from this. But it's just like, the Spirit of God was on me so strong after I made that video, and God's presence was just on me, and people just don't want the Spirit of God. Like, they reject God. They don't want God. They don't want what God's about. They don't want the truth. They don't want to put an effort. They don't really want to actually love people or, you know, be kind to their fellow or anything like that. Like, another thing, like, I made a video called Love Your Fellow. It's like my least watched video. Nobody cared. Nobody cared whatsoever, you know? I'll make some video, top 15 ways narcissists get you, 100,000 views. I'm being carried around on, you know, people's shoulders and all this stuff. And then I say, love your fellow, and nobody cares. And look, the narcissist videos are important. Exposing narcissism was a huge, huge part in my journey and in my growth. And, you know, it's a very spiritual thing. It's not just a carnal thing, you know. It's not just a worldly thing. It's like these people are little mini me Satans, basically, and it's very, very spiritual. So I'm not going to discount the importance of those videos, but it's just like, man, like, I just want to, like, it's just bothersome, you know. It's just like, where are people's priorities at, you know? And the thing about those videos is they don't convict you. They don't convict people. They just say, you were a victim, they were bad, you know, and I do need to say that because narcissists twist things up, and, you know, but like, those videos are more just, you can put it on, it's easy listening, you know, and whereas, like, I guess that video I made was not easy listening. Maybe some people cried a little bit when they watched it, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to feel sad, you know? I don't know, you know? I don't know, you know? But it's just, the spiritual path is the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's so hard. It's so tough. People think they're hard. They think they're tough. They think they're strong. Be an actual follower of Jesus Christ. And you'll see what actually being tough is, because the whole matrix turns against you. All your friends betray you, you know? And, you know, people don't understand you. They don't get you. They don't want to be around you anymore. They think you're weird. Like, I had to go through all this stuff, you know? I lost pretty much all my friends. And when I went to the church, I got stabbed in the back, totally tricked by the matrix, you know? And I saw them, and it's just like, people don't want to hear that. But, like, I'm still here. I'm still standing, and I'm not going anywhere either. Like, you know, God's on my side. You know, I have God with me, and, you know, on some level, I'm a prophet of God, you know, and I'm not trying to, like, say that in some weird, crazy way or be manipulative or weird about that, but on some level, us true chosen ones, like, you are a prophet of God, and you are speaking the truth of God. And, like, I need to tell people to seek God outside the institutions, you know, outside of the church, outside of the control systems. And that's hard. That's very hard, you know? It is. And, like, just being on your own in life, no support system, like I am, hard, very hard. And I'm not saying I haven't had the supportive or helpful people in my life here and there, but all in all, like, I don't have any supporters in my life, really. And I know that, like, if things went hard for me, God would provide, and God would help me, and God would put good people in my life that I need and stuff, and God would send random people to help me and whatever, but, you know, because God looks out for me. But, like, it's hard, you know? It's so hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, you know? I've already done the hardest thing I could ever do, you know? I could think about if I want to be some Navy SEAL or whatever. That wouldn't be that hard compared to the spiritual battle. If I want to go be a UFC fighter and go fight, I don't know, some guy in the cage, whatever, some guy in the octagon, that wouldn't be that hard, you know? I've already done something way, way harder, you know? Like for real. Like, I'm not kidding, you know? Like, the actual courageous, tough, hard people are the spiritual people, you know? Like Martin Luther King Jr., like, courage, like, more courageous than any soldier, any fighter, any boxer, any big tough man, whatever. That guy, courage. Martin Luther the Reformer, who got burnt at the stake by the Catholic Church, you know, in and around the year 1500. Hard, tough, brave, extremely brave. Braver than any soldier, any knight in armor, you know, braver, you know, because standing up to the system and going against the status quo, going against the matrix, there's nothing harder than that, you know? There's nothing, and I really want to, like, get this message across to people, you know, that, like, this crap is not going to be easy. It's not, you know? And if you think it's going to be some fun, easy, slappy, happy, easy ride, like, I got bad news for you, you know? Again, I'm the truth tiger. I'm not the pandering panda bear. Oh, I'm going to tell everyone what they want to hear. No, you know? I am the truth tiger. I am not the freaking pandering panda. I'm not, you know? And it's just, man, you know, it's frustrating. And, like, I know I'm more angry in this video, but, like, earlier today, I was sad, man. Like, invisible tears going down my eyes when I saw that people were, like, I put my heart and my soul, I told my whole story, and people are just like, oh, I don't want to hear that, you know? Whatever. And I'm telling you guys, like, take bravery, take heart, actually walk with God, and, you know, don't be a coward when it comes to the truth, and don't be a coward when it comes to your spiritual walk. And everybody else, every church, every new age thing, every whatever is just saying, it's going to be easy. You just sit back, you let God do it. You sit back and the universe will take care of you. Or it's just like you have these weird, crazy rules. You follow the crazy rules, and, you know, that was more like Judaism, what I came from. Islam is kind of similar, but you follow these crazy rules and don't think about anything, and, you know, you'll be good. But you have to think for yourself and figure things out for yourself and get out of the collective. You got to be a cat, you know, and just be on your own thing and be on your own deal and be independent. And, like, it's tough. It's very tough. It's very hard. You know, hardest thing I've ever done. You know, ain't nothing easy about it, you know. yeah, a lot of narcissists you got to get past, a lot of backstabbers, a lot of betrayers, and like everyone turns against you, you know, they do. And like I've heard of people that all of a sudden now they can't get a job, you know, and like things just like get hard. Like I remember things just got really hard for me. And when I first started telling people about Jesus Christ, nobody understood me, nobody cared. A lot of the Jewish, you know, guys I was around didn't want to hear about it, didn't want to know about it, distanced themselves from me. And you know, and I don't blame them. I would have done the same thing if I was them. I legit would have. I'm not saying if you switch put both, you know, I would be against it. Hey, I might try to beat them up or something, you know, like I'm not saying I'm like better than them or whatever, but it's just like, man, like this is a hard burden to carry. This really is. Like this, and I'm doing it alone. I'm doing it alone. Like ain't no supporters, ain't no helpers, ain't nobody, you know. And this is just a freaking hard burden to carry. It is nothing easy about this. Nothing easy about this whatsoever. Now the tears are starting to come a little bit, you know, but like, man, like it makes me hurt. It makes me vulnerable. It makes me in pain, you know, like this stuff has been, being on this chosen one's path has been, and being chosen by God has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, you know. And I'm serious, you know, I'm a Navy SEAL, that's hard. I'm a UFC fighter, that's hard. I'm a this, that's hard. I'm a this, that's hard. Like, nothing's harder than the freaking spiritual path, man. Nothing's harder than the path of the prophets. Think about Joseph being sold into slavery by his brothers and thrown into prison. I was thinking about this morning, you know, like, think about that. Like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that, but like, how hard was that? How tough was that? Just being thrown aside like that, you know? Path of Moses, nobody understands you, nobody gets you, you know? The path of the prophets is tough. Jesus was crucified, you know? The path of the prophets is hard. It's extremely hard. It's insanely hard. It's the hardest thing, you know? And man, it's just an emotionally difficult journey too, because you're doing it alone for the most part, especially in this time, in this age. We're very carnal in this time and age, you know, we're very carnal. You know, we're not about spirituality at all, not about true spirituality at least, and not about the true journey to enlightenment, to gain knowledge and to become close to God and to do good and to love your fellow and stuff like that. Nobody wants to hear that, you know. Man, nobody does. Alright, I think I'm going to wind this video down here, but thank you everyone who watched. Thank you to all my subscribers, all the real ones who are rocking with me, like, God bless you, you know. All the real ones who don't run away from a challenge, God bless you, you know. And I want to give a big blessing from God to all of you, and just want to say God bless you all, and I will see you next time.